drops on a Sunday night, engine screaming, fists up tight, Discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap one, chaos, three wide deep, somebody blinks, somebody weeps, rear view mirror full of smoke, cut me off, I won't lift, that'll do it, there he goes again. You dive in low, I hold my line, chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside, get you some, hold it wide, get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride, kick me out, that'll do it, back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning, league race live and we're still 3 wide. You wanna see my dog? Yeah, that eagle on my grill is boss. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job sent from outer space, net code give it, net code takes. Somebody's yelling in the chat, who drove through me? Imagine that. White flags flying, hearts beat fast. One more corner, don't lift that gas. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside, get you some, hold it wide, get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride, kick me out, that'll do it, back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning, league race live and we're still 3 wide. Some got skill and some got luck, some just scream, Scotty, wake up. Admin's watching, finger on mute, somebody cross the racing route. 3 laps down, but still we fight, short track war under neon lights. 191 racing, say it loud, we ain't here to run in a crowd. Get you some, hold it flat, if you spin me, we'll talk about that, that'll do it. Lights come up, so let's begin. Green flag drops on a Sunday night, engine screaming, fists up tight, Discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap one, chaos, 3 wide deep, somebody blinks, somebody weeps, rear view mirror full of smoke, cut me off, I won't lift, that'll do it, there he goes again. You dive in low, I hold my line, chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside, get you some, hold it wide, get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride, kick me out, that'll do it, back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning, league race live and we're still 3 wide. You wanna see my dog? Yeah, that eagle on my grill is boss. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job sent from outer space. Net code, give it, net code takes. Somebody's yelling in the chat. Who drove through me? Imagine that. White flags flying, hearts beat fast. One more corner, don't lift that gas. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. Some got skill and some got luck. Some just scream, Scotty, wake up. And men's watching, finger on mute. Somebody crossed the racing route. 3 laps down, but still we fight. Short track war under neon lights. Why not one racing? Say it loud. We ain't here to run in a crowd. Get you some, hold it flat. If you spin me, we'll talk about that. That'll do it. Lights come up, so let's begin. Green flag drops on a Sunday night. Engines screaming, fists up tight. Discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap 1, chaos, 3 wide deep. Somebody blinks, somebody weeps. Rear view mirror full of smoke. Cut me off, I won't lift. That'll do it, there he goes again. You dive it low, I hold my line. Chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. You wanna see my dog? Yeah, that eagle on my grill is boss. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job sent from outer space. Net code, give it, net code takes. Somebody's yelling in the chat. Who drove through me? Imagine that. White flags flying, hearts beat fast. One more corner, don't lift that gas. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. Some got skill and some got luck. Some just scream, Scotty, wake up. And men's watching, finger on mute. Somebody crossed the racing route. 3 laps down, but still we fight. Short track war under neon lights. Why not one racing? Say it loud. We ain't here to run in a crowd. Get you some, hold on a Sunday night, engine screaming, fists up tight, discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap one, chaos, 3 wide deep, somebody blinks, somebody weeps, rear view mirror full of smoke, cut me off, I won't lift, that'll do it, there he goes again. You dive it low, I hold my line, chrome to chrome at the finish line, one down.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the 191 Motorsports as we're here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, now known as Echo Park Speedway, is going to play host to tonight's round, and it is going to be the hot Atlanta 188 here tonight. Carl Hammer joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, hopefully these drivers are ready to handle this track, because it can definitely turn out to be a bit of a super speedway, even though it's a 1.5 mile track.
Yeah, it's the new Atlanta, so it's basically a mini Daytona or Talladega. Gonna be a lot of kind of close racing here tonight, so looking to see who can survive. Obviously, hopefully keep them caution down, because you can't go all out the whole time. You do have to lift. You do have to conserve your tires a little more. So tires being more of a benefit here as well. Not a necessity, but definitely will help in making those moves happen when you need them to be. But right now we are currently underway. Got a few more minutes of qualifying, as they are just a minute and a half, and then we all out there. It does look like getting close to 30 people out there for tonight, and this should be a good one. So welcome all the race fans out there, everybody in attendance right at the moment. I'm sure there'll be more coming in, but just a shout out to the Racing Line 90, Renee, Brenda, and I haven't seen Barry yet, so I'm sure he'll be popped in sooner or later, but it should be a good one here tonight.
Yeah, I did. I believe I got a message from Barry earlier saying that he would be in there, maybe running a little late, but so hopefully Renee and everybody else can wait for him to get in here. But yeah, looking forward to this one. It's a pretty fun track. I mean, even if you run the old Atlanta, I know some drivers prefer the older Atlanta Motor Speedway, and actually that is where we're here tonight. So I did want to make that correction. It's not the new Echo Park. We're at the old Atlanta here tonight, and we'll see what these drivers have in store for us as we take a look at the standings coming into tonight. And it is Bryce Saucier, Roger Saucier at the top of the boards with 77 points, 5 points ahead of Mike Casey, Andrew Jones, Tony Brennan, Billy Rickett for your top 5. Actually, Tony Brennan and Billy Rickett tied in fifth there, or fourth place. But we'll see who can get the wins here tonight. Only 2 races so far into the season: Daytona and Michigan, won by Mike Casey and Bryce Saucier. Tonight we have Old Atlanta for 125 laps before next week we head to the last great Coliseum of Bristol in our first night race of the season. But we are done with qualifying. It's time to get our starting order here for tonight. So Jimmy, why don't you give us a rundown of that 28 car field?
Quick rundown of the field here tonight is going to be pole sitter is going to be Michael Casey. Start things off fast here tonight on the pole, with outside being Paul Helms on number 64. Billy Rickett there on row number 2 with Bryce Saucier, and then Tony Brennan and Kenneth Kuko back there on row number 3. Row number 4, Levi Poland back in action here at 191, and row with joined with Michael Rakes there on row number 4. Row number 5, Bradley Worley and Robbie Miner, Tanner McAllister and Dale Garner Jr. in row number 6. Douglas Ivey and Travis Noble on row number 7. Row number 8, Bryson Anderson and Zane Bierman. Row number 9, Steve Harris and Don Ashton. And then back through the field here, we got done row number 10. It's going to be Ken Ewell and Andrew Jones. Row 11, Chris Perry and Scott Henderson. Heezy Hardy and Matthew Jordan on row number 12. Patrick Gentner and Wade Inyard on row number 13. Richard Hartman and Thomas Osborne for row number 14. And that will be our 28 car field here tonight. Only a few drivers with no times in. I don't know if that's by design or if they maybe pushed it a little hard during qualifying.
Yeah, and it can certainly work out that way very easily, especially off of turn number 4 here is usually the tricky part of the track, if you want to consider it that. But good sized field out here, as Jimmy mentioned. It's nice to have almost 30 cars out here for the session here tonight. And trying to take a look at the last time we went to Atlanta Motor Speedway. It looks like last season it was, there it is. Thought we did. And surprise, surprise, Jimmy. The man that's back in action here tonight, Levi Poland, was your winner last time we came here, as he only led 4 laps of the 125-lap race. Kind of dominated by a couple different drivers. Mike Casey led a bunch of laps. Nolan Potter led a bunch of laps as well, but leading the last lap was Levi Poland, but Bryce Ossier finishing in second place. So we'll see if the points leader has what it takes to get it done here tonight. But Mike Casey in the 6th, going to lead him off for our first green flag of the night. Hopefully we see it green all the way up until our comp caution on lap number 25, or thereabouts, by the Pinkstons, the Big Daddy and Little Daddy in the admin booth, getting ready to get this race underway. But looking forward to it here. Just gotta keep it clean and green up until that comp caution. Gonna get that first green flag here tonight. Barney ready to go. Hopefully everyone in CRN Nation's ready to go, because these drivers we're racing here at Atlanta.
Way to go, heading down into row number 1. And Casey has the lead over the number 7 of Billy Rickett. Tony Brennan, Paul Helms back there in row number 2, fighting side by side. Yeah, I thought we were Echo Park here tonight for some reason. I even came up as Echo Park when I was bringing up, but it does say Atlanta here for when you look at the track in case here. As you can see up the top, right up here where I got the HUD kind of up overlay. We'll get rid of that and bring up the race over there.
Yeah, it got a little tight right there. Tony Brennan somehow survives and gets through there 3 wide. 3 wide can happen in the turn 1 backstretch, turn 3. You can go 3 wide in there, but on the front stretch it gets a little sketchy. You see Levi Poland coming out of the pits. Not sure why, but he missed the start of this race, so already down a lap here, and hopefully can get that lap back here quickly. But yeah, it is. I think because the name in real life has changed to Echo Park, that's why it says Echo Park, whether it's the new or the old. But it's still the old scan, which is probably why it still has the Atlanta on the walls and everything like that, and it shows Atlanta in a few different spots. But yeah, we're here at the old school Atlanta, and trying to see what the temps are here tonight. Looks like it is a pretty hot day out right now. 84 degrees is the temperature for the ambient temperature. I can't say the same for the track. 108 degrees right now, so it is hot Atlanta for sure.
I have a mod in my ear from this weekend's race. I got to shut Jim off. I got my crew chief was talking in my ear like I'm on the track, and yeah, that's not fun to hear. Matter of fact, attack right over Carl.
Well, hey, you can't wreck the car. You can't get any X's from the booth. That's why we stay up here for most of the time. But maybe the spotter still thinks you can. But Mike Casey leads the way. Billy Rickett in second. Paul Helms, Bradley Worley, and Kenneth Kuko for your top 5. Bryce Ossier, Tanner McAllister, Dale Gardner Jr., Tony Brennan, and Zane Bierman currently for your top 10. I want to thank everyone out there in CRN Nation for tuning in here tonight as we start another week here on CRN. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that we have to offer. But we're clicking away here, already starting lap number 5.
As long as things stay clean and green, we should have that 25 lap comp caution here for 191. So they need to make it there for their first round of pit stops. And then hopefully we get to see them continue their green flag run. 88 Bradley Worley getting a little loose, tagging a wall, being able to save it though. So see the drivers checked up a little bit for him. So good catch there for the 88 here on lap number 7 as they complete 6 and now on 7, excuse me. Tanner McAllister up there in P number 8, up 3 spots as well. But big mover so far of the race is one of them is Zane Bierman, up 7 spots in P number 8 right now.
Yeah, I think given the fact that this is the older Atlanta and how hot it is right now, it's triple digits, I think the tires are definitely going to play a pretty big factor once it gets sort of deep into the runs here, and we'll see how the drivers react to it. It's kind of crazy as hot as it is. You see the sparks as well, just to kind of add to the heat of the track here. The cars dragging on the turns here as they compress into the ground. You see some of the sparks flying off the cars. Pretty cool look to it for sure. But good one here, good start, and I don't want to jinx it because it's been a little bit since we've been able to get a nice little green flag run straight to the comp caution, and I'd love to see it here tonight to get this thing rolling here, as we've already got 7 laps in the books here. It's still Mike Casey out front, but it's really nobody pulling away from anybody. It's leveled out here. It's steadied out here. Most of it is pretty much single file, but not really any kind of big gaps until you get back to 14th and 15th. Ken Ewell, Bryson Anderson, about a 1 second difference in between them. Thomas Osborne about 2 seconds behind Scott Henderson right now, and Douglas Ivey, not sure what happened to him. He's fallen back. He's about 16.5 seconds off the back of Wade Enyart. Levi Poland, we mentioned, he started from pit lane, missed the start for whatever reason, and he is down a lap right now. So I'm sure he's just trying to survive, get this thing to the comp caution, get his lap back. Then we'll have all 28 back on the lead lap.
Yeah, Douglas Ivey, obviously just 2 corners in front of the leaders here, and Carl, I was thinking it was the new Echo Park, because Echo Park in this version, the actual Atlanta, it runs a lot different. So if it was Echo Park, this would be more like a Daytona race where everybody is kind of packed up and running, really, close together. But being that this is the old version, with the older cars, it's definitely allows them to kind of spread out a little bit. I mean, they're still pretty close. There are a lot of nose to tail, some 2-wide action going on here. See Levi Poland working his way up through the field already, but all he has to do is survive, just not to get involved in anything. And like when that comp caution comes out, he'll be able to get himself back on that lead lap, and you're only 1 lap down at the moment, so doing a good job there. We're still green here, 12 laps in. Michael Casey is your leader over Billy Rick.
I mean, it's nice, for these drivers, knowing that they got the comp caution that's kind of coming up. It's looming for them out here, and it's something where that you get towards that 25 laps, you can not shut it down, but you can get into okay, let's start to relax a little bit type of mode, and let's try and figure out what we want to do here. I would assume, like usual, once they come in for that first round of pit stops, you probably see 4 tires this time, as I know sometimes we see drivers just come in and maybe want to try and get a little track position, but I think 25 laps, it's a good amount here at a hot Atlanta Motor Speedway, and I would think it's one where you're gonna want fresh tires already here on this first stop.
Snowball getting a little squirrely there and tagging the wall on the outside of number 17. Number 19 of Ken Ewell out there as well, and I'm pretty sure I updated the paints. Sometimes chain paints work, but I don't. Usually Ken's got some sort of paint on there, but pretty standard paint there for the 19 right at the moment. Matthew Scruffy Jordan out there as well, trying to work his way up through the field. Up 9 spots now, so 23 trying to make some move. Seen a lot of talk, with Scruffy through his Facebook and with his crew, packing up the car, and kind of disappointing first few weeks there for number 23, but 23 looking good here tonight so far, and has made it all the way up to P number 15.
Yeah, that's definitely a track, new or old, that its passing is is definitely an opportunity. You can get it done here, and especially once it gets a little bit later in the runs on the old Atlanta, you can definitely see the drivers that were a little bit nicer to their car and can control the pace and the burn off a little bit more. But once you kind of get going with this thing, you start digging into the laps, you're going to see those right fronts really start to burn off if you're using it too hard, and that's where the pace is going to drop off a bit for you, and it's going to allow others to start really working their way through the field. And I'm not saying that qualifying means a lot, you know, because you can still get it done from starting in the back. And Levi Poland technically qualified in 7th, but missed a start, and he's down a lap right now, but nowhere near out of it at this point, and still got plenty of racing yet to go. And while we have a chance, I want to give a shout out and a thanks to our series sponsors here for the season, and that being One Vision EMS and Transports, Kim's Cups and More, and am I waiting for it on the new one? Beyond the Edge, for their help and sponsorship for this season. And as always, want to thank everybody out there for tuning in. I know we say it a lot, and we ask, for the subscription and everything like that, which costs nothing, but it makes it fun for us. I mean, of course, we like getting out here and watching the races and commenting on them, but seeing everyone's comments in the chat, it certainly it gives us more to talk about, and it gives us an idea of who's rooting for who out there, and then who you want to see on the screen. And there's times where we get stuck on the leaders, or we get stuck on one good battle that's out there in the track, or maybe a couple battles here and there. But some drivers maybe don't get the love that some of their fans want to see out there. So if there's a driver out there you're rooting for, let us know. We'll try and get him some screen time.
Yeah, it's do our best to try to show the action where it's at, and right on board with a few of the drivers to see how they're doing each and every time, and just kind of show everybody kind of what it's like out there, in different perspectives, different angles. And I replay the replays. I've got a slow one here. Whoa! I was just looking with Travis Noble in the 88 getting loose. 19 was loose of Ken Yule. So obviously them tires are starting to feel the heat of the track, I'm sure, and only a few more laps to go for that concussion.
Yeah, it'll be wanted and warranted for sure. Once we get to that point, these drivers will be happy to get in there, get some fresh rubber on, as they can't just go in and take tires every time they want. They only have 4 sets of tires in the pits, and certainly at a 125 lap race, after 25 laps, it's a good time to take that first set of tires, then leave you with 4 for the last, or 3 more for the last 100. But even if you come in every 25 laps, you're good to go when it comes to tires. I don't think 25 laps is what we're looking at for fuel. I think it's going to be maybe a little bit further than that. So maybe we'll see 2 more stops for the rest of the race, but it all kind of depends on how the racing is going to go, as some drivers bouncing around, roughing themselves up, and roughing their competitors up a little bit here as well. But so far so good. You see how much it's spread out, though. It's definitely the old Atlanta when you look at the Skittles on the map. The new Atlanta, like we said, it's got the fresh pavement on it, and it runs more like a super speedway. And the fact that the pack is usually all grouped up in one spot on the track, but here at old Atlanta, it spreads out a little bit.
Yeah, I was just noting, I think the 43 heard me last week when I was talking about the 43. When I see it out there, I want to see petty colors, and what I meant by that, the blue and the orange of the STP, and he went a little step farther. Said, man, and has Petty's Garage on there. So it's good to see the 43 being represented in the way the King would have loved it, and definitely a good way to show those colors out there. Actually up in 11th, working up in the 12th spot now. 13th spot, excuse me, up 12 spots.
Almost 3 wide there. Got a little spicy, but again, nothing to see here. We're only about a half a lap away from that comp caution. Just gotta make it there, boys and girls, and we will get the comp caution. There it is, as the yellow flag flies. We'll get them woed up here, and once pit stops are done and dusted, we're going to go ahead and bring in our in-race and supposed to be pre-race reporter. I just didn't get a chance to bring him in before the race. We'll get a chance to talk to him here under the comp caution, and that is going to be the driver of the 23, as Jimmy mentioned him earlier, Matthew Scruffy Jordan, running up there in 9th position right now, biggest mover of the race, up 15 spots. We'll get an idea of how that number 23 is rolling and see if he just cocked up the qualifying effort or what the case is. But either way, good run, good clean run here. All green flags up to the comp caution, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's the way that most drivers like to enjoy it out here, and have green flag racing and be able to exercise their strategies and not have to start thinking about other strategies. When you get going and you start off and you have a certain strategy, you're like, all right, we're gonna make comp caution, then I'm gonna do this. But then if no cautions, this is what I plan on doing. And usually drivers have that in their head what they're going to do, but obviously cautions stir the pot when it comes to decisions on pit strategies, fuel strategies, coming in, staying out, left sides, right sides. But with the hot track, drivers are going to want tires as much as they can. And the number 91 here, you can see stays out. Going to get that wave around so he can get his pit stop and have to make his way through the field again, but this time on a lead lap. So 91 of Levi Poland will get on the lead lap, and I would say watch out, as he was on his way through 3/4 of the field there in that first 25 lap run, and that was out of the pits. So 91 sure has some speed here tonight, and I'll be looking forward to him in the next 100 laps come up through the field and see where he can compete with his fellow league mates. But Kenneth Kuko with a very fast pit stop in and out here, going to come out in first.
Is waiting for the 23 to come out of the pits, and looks like he is good to go. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the driver of the 23, Matthew Scruffy Jordan. Matthew, didn't get a chance to talk to you before the race, but welcome to the booth. You picked this race as the race you want to come up here and chat. So what makes Hot Atlanta a track that you enjoy?
It's more of a love-hate relationship. I hate how hot it is. I'm gonna tell you, I went out there and I fried an egg before this morning on the front stretch, so it is spicy. I think I checked it. It was 111 when we got started, so it's rough.
Yeah, it's a little toasty out there, and it's one thing you're in a virtual rig here, and you can get the air on or put a fan on you, something like that. You don't have to sit in the cockpit of these cars here for sure. But talk to me about qualifying, I guess, first. Was it an issue with qualifying? You didn't get a chance to get a lap in? Was it a bad qualifying effort? Because we see you starting way back there in 24th. Not the case anymore. You drove through the field here pretty good.
I didn't qualify. I didn't want to. I wanted to kind of take my time, let everybody kind of use up their tires a little bit, kind of to fill everybody out and see who's aggressive, who's not early on, who I need to stay away from. So, yeah.
Well, it seems like you'd be the one that's been aggressively working your way through the field as you moved up 15 spots here so far, up into the top 10. So, great start for the 23. What do you think you have for the rest of the race here before we let you get back to it?
I mean, I put in a lot of practice here throughout the week, and it's felt pretty good on the long run. And just gotta know where to be. We gotta know where to be, when to be. So I'm gonna go out here and do my best I can, I guess.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll let you get to it as you're getting ready for the restart, and we'll, I'm sure, get a chance to talk to you at some point again here tonight.
Yeah, man.
That is driver of the 23, Matthew Scruffy Jordan, as we're about ready to kick this thing back off. Less than 100 laps to go now, but still plenty of racing to go as Kenneth Kuko, Mike Casey on the front row. We're back to racing here at Atlanta.
See how Kenneth's decision in the pits works out for him. He's going to start there on the inside and get out to the lead there. So inside line a little bit stronger, it looks like, from the get-go, as I've seen a lot of drivers trying to work that higher line. I know Bradley Worley being one of them, along with a few others, but 12 out front over Billy Rickett and Zane Bierman.
Yeah, that looks like Casey just not getting that great of a restart. Man, he's getting swallowed up right now. Almost the middle three wide as luckily the 53 gave him room, almost an incident there as the 18 just barely gave enough room for the 55 heading through the quad oval. And now we'll get to see Jimmy. Now it's, I don't want to say gloves are off, but there's a bit of an incident back there. The 38 gets sitting on the outside wall. Not sure, or the 30. Not sure what happened there to Hardy, but that was a close one. It was, I know he hit the wall, but it was still kind of a good save by the 30. But now, as I was getting to say, it's time to actually go racing here, and we'll see how much his field actually starts to spread out, because these drivers now are racing, for position. Not that they weren't in the beginning of the race, but they knew there was going to be a guaranteed caution, so they didn't really have to go too crazy. They're going to come in and get another set of tires and go from there. But right now, it could go all the way to the end, so you need to start putting that car in the right spots and work your way up through the field if you're towards the back. But you hear it there riding on board with Levi Poland, who is now back on the lead lap. The car is definitely scraping up a little bit in the corners. It is bumping and banging. That's why you see the sparks coming off of Richard Hartman there, going through the 1 and 2 in front of Levi Poland. But Poland in the 91 already looking to try and work his way back up through the field. He started in 7th technically, but missed the start of the race and had to start a lap down from the pits. And back on the lead lap now, battling for 24th position as he goes to the outside.
Yeah, trying to use what track he's comfortable with and able to get around the number 52. So moves the 91 back up to P number 24 as we've got plenty of race for him to try to make his way through. But biggest mover of the race right now is Zane Bierman, up 14 spots, sitting in P number 2 at the moment behind the number 18. Just kind of edging out the 12 as they cross the line, but looking to kind of keep that track going there. The other big mover of the race is Patrick Gentner, in the number 43 as well. So obviously some good moves there through the pits and an early start here. Got a lot of two wide action through the field. You can see it back as here middle of the field for the most part here. P number 16 got see Scruffy in there, the 17, the 31 of Dale Garner Jr., number 33 of Douglas Ivy as well. So drivers trying to find their way and doing some battling side by side all the way around this track.
Yeah, so far so good for the drivers, as we're already about a quarter of the way through this race, with Billy Rickett now your new leader. Bryce Saucier moves into second. Zane Bierman in third. Mike Casey, your pole sitter, back in fourth right now, but still hanging on to the front pack here. He's got the 70 of Travis Noble. Maybe looking to try and move himself up into fourth. Kenneth Kuko was your restart leader here, but he's fallen back to 6th position now. Robbie Miner up into 7th. Michael Ray started in 8th. He is in 8th right now. Paul Helms started on the outside of the front row. He's back in 9th place. Tony Brennan drops back 5 spots to 10th as well, as that is your top 10 currently. And you see a bit of a gap in between the first 19 and then 20th on back, as Scott Henderson, not sure if Renee needs to shake him back awake or what the case is, but Scott Henderson right here, kind of leading this second pack here. It's a little bit spread out, a little bit jumble right here, but only about a 1.4 second difference between the 72 and then the 30 that's in front of him currently. But either way, good running here so far, and we've seen all kinds of green, which is exactly what we'd like to see, even though the conditions may not be favorable for these drivers, as you heard Matthew Scruffy Jordan mentioning. It is full-on Hotlanta here tonight.
Yeah, bring the heat. Obviously the drivers, when they get the colder tracks, the cars tend to be a little looser, and maybe they'll welcome them a little bit of a tighter car here tonight, and not having to fight that rear end as much. Now fighting the front end from hitting the wall. So just got to be careful. A little more easy with the tires. Tires management is, yes, in play here at this track. I've seen somebody mention that a little bit earlier in the chat. Yep, that by it's Chuck and Henry. But we do have an incident here with Ken Ewell and Steve Harris, so we'll find out what happened during this incident here. And
Oh, Steve Harris looks like
yeah, it already happened. So
involved here, though. It looks like the 88, Bradley Worley, big impact there. And I don't know if Ken Ewell didn't see the incident in front of him or what the case was. It didn't look like he slowed down at all coming to that incident, but you see right there, already starting already between the 88 and 134. So we'll take a look back here, and it looks like, not sure if Harris came down at all, if it was Worley coming up off the corner, but either way they meet in the middle, and maybe Harris staying a little bit lower than what Worley expected. And you see right there, contact, maybe a little net code, but either way, I think they might have made contact eventually. And the 134 and the 88 get sent down to the inside. They both get a meatball for their incident here. Looks like, I think Worley had to, Worley just had to jump back into the pits. Not sure why, but big incident once the 88 got back out onto the track. And how the 19 didn't get a meatball for that, I have no idea. Maybe it was hit so square, but it looks like the engine would have blown. Maybe he had a meatball and I missed it, but either way, that was a massive impact there for the 19. We'll try and take a look on board here and see, maybe his vision got blocked a little bit. You see the cars down there on the bottom, and then they start coming up to the top of the track. You hear them blowing up, but it was already too late at that point. And that's why we tell drivers, and it's not, pointing Ken out here at all, but we try and tell drivers, listen, when there's an incident like that, you see the cars, wrecking, even though they're on the bottom of the track, just start slowing up. As soon as you see them start spinning out, there's gonna be a caution. Save yourself. Just slow up and figure out a way to slowly work your way around that wreck, especially if you have nobody else around you that can end up piling into you from behind. Just relax a little bit and find your way through to try and speed and quickly get by it. 9 times out of 10 that doesn't work.
Yeah, no, it's decision. You're out there and you see them going off the track. You're like, all right, they'll stay down there. But man, when these cars bounce off the walls, you just don't know what's going to happen. Whether a driver is trying to hold the brakes and they just got all that momentum, they're trying to keep it still, but sometimes they just ricochet so much off the walls, slide them right down, and then the drivers might think they're going forward, but they're going so slow. So yeah, it's best to just kind of as soon as you see cars kind of going off, obviously checking your mirrors so in case somebody's right on the back end, calling it out. A lot of things you can do to help each other out. But Carl, it's going to be interesting here as a caution flag flies here early after their run here. But I mean, they were in on lap number 25. It's now lap 42, getting about that 20 lap. But it does look like everybody pretty much stayed out, if I'm not mistaken, with the exception of the drivers that were involved. Go ahead and put up their pit lap here so you can see who was in when, and you can see everybody was in on lap 26. A few drivers going in there to get repairs. Ewell in Poland and Hardy. So, Poland obviously needs to work his way from the back anyways, and being in the back of the field, typically there's no harm if you're going to at least go in and get some, maybe not tires per se this run, but maybe just some fuel, because you never know what's going to happen. Everybody goes in, you stay out, you keep running. The caution comes out, and the next thing you know, you're like the only one on the lead lap. I think you can go down a lap. You can put everybody a lap down if you stay out. So Cosford come out, and Levi and Ewell and Enyart, Enyart didn't come in. Hurry stays out, and Akasha comes out. They could be and sitting in a good spot, getting tires and whatnot, and being back out there. So and out in front. So but we're gonna get back to racing here as they start under green. Billy Rickett is going to be your leader here with Zane Bierman on the outside of 12 of Kenneth Kuko there on the inside. Zane Bierman in there as well. The 18 of Bryce Saucier looking to move up through the field here, trying to get in the front of Mike Casey, and is able to do so. Mike comes down to the low side, trying to avoid that, but that was a close race in there. I'm sure Mike was checking his mirror and maybe his shorts.
Definitely a brown pants moment for sure.
No.
we may have another incident here. Is
that was close.
17? I
He's on
see
the apron.
Don Ashton has a meatball as well. Went off the track and then came back on. Not sure what happened to the 00. We have to try and take a look back at that, as he's definitely hurt. And you see that the right front tire sticking out, and I think it already happened by that point right there.
I'll just go back here real quick. See, oh, surprise!
Ooh, right there. Not sure what happened. Drifted way down there. Gets into Levi Poland. It's like the 30 gets involved, and a good job there by the 30, keeping it off the inside wall and keeping it going. But 00 into the pits to get that meatball cleared. But meanwhile, up front, Billy Rickett and the 7 looking to try and get it done here. Looking to finally try and get it done here at the front. For the 12 of Kenneth Kuko, maybe it fell back a little bit, and now starting to wind it back up here just a bit. He is starting to move his way back up there in 3rd right now, battling with Zane Bierman for 2nd. Mike Casey up there as well on that outside line. And it seems like the outside line preferred by these leaders up here.
Yeah, I think because they enjoyed the run coming out of the corners. You know, obviously you can probably get the pass done down to the inside. You know, but one thing that's the fear of the run on the outside, at least for me anyways, is the wall. Wall's not your friend. It's like a mini handbrake. If you just kind of brush up against it, you can get yourself damaged, and that's where we've seen a lot of cars kind of bobble, and you know, a lot of drivers keeping it together here tonight, but you do see the bobble and the scrapes from the wall. But some just riding on board with a few of the drivers here up front right now, on board with the Tony Brennan here, back in P number 9 as they cross the line here. He's on the working the outside, trying to follow this pack around.
Far so good. It's crazy how much you hear the bumping and banging by the cars going through these corners, but doing a good job here keeping this thing in order and hanging tough. I want to once again thank everyone out there for tuning in. Hit that like, subscribe, get in touch with everything that we have to offer as we're getting close to lap number 50 here. This Kenneth Kuko back to the lead. We got a couple of drivers through the grass on the front stretch. Billy Rickett was one of them, still trying to save it. Does a good job of doing so. Not sure who else was going through there. If it was the 18, possibly a Bryce Saucier going through the infield. May have to try and take a look exactly, see what happened there. If it was somebody just getting a little bit too much out of turn 4, if there was, you know, somebody bouncing off the wall, or what the case was. Here it is coming off the corner. It looks like maybe a little bobble by the 18. I think the 7 just drifted up a little bit too far. A good save by both drivers, and you see Rickett having to dirt track that thing around the quad oval on the front stretch. But looks like Don Ashton, not sure if he got another meatball, because I see another meatball there for the 00. I mean, I'm pretty sure he cleared the last one, but that quick lane number 00 looks like it may be damaged up here again.
Maybe he didn't have it checked. It could be
For the fast repair?
Yeah.
Like it's a black flag coming in on top of his efforts. Now, I think the last time, I think that right front was sticking out. This time it's still the right front, but it looks like it's just banged up a little bit more. Now he does get it cleared, but he's going to have to sit there for an extra 40 seconds to clear the black flag as well. But new leader out here, the 55, is Zane Bierman. And he's a driver, Jimmy, he's not had great finishing success, but you're starting to see a little bit more the 55 towards the front of these fields.
Yeah, I've been poking his nose up there in a few of the series that we've been in. Been running pretty decent. Finally getting the knack for what needs to be done in the 55, and just you know, getting caught up in maybe something that you know, that wasn't of his own doing, and not getting the finishes maybe he deserves, or just you know, wrong spot, wrong time, and you know, and you think you're clear and you're not, and you know, the mistakes come out. So, but it's good to see the 55 up front right now, leading the way up 15 spots. The other big mover of the race is Thomas Osborne. I haven't talked about the 83 very much here tonight yet. Has made his way up 15 spots, sitting in P number 13. So, doing a fantastic job getting this Harley Davidson machine up through the field so far. A little check-in on Levi Poland, as he's now in 18th spot. Was one of the drivers that came in on lap number 40. and leading the way here, just trying, I think, hold on, just to, just run his race. He has plenty of fuel that he only needs to make a stop when he needs to. So just maybe trying to save them tires a little bit to stay out there longer. So when these drivers have to eventually pit, he'll be able to stay out.
I do like the Zane Chastain. Yeah, that's probably fitting for Zane Bierman out there, as he is your leader, Mike Casey, in second. You see a good battle here for third between the 12 of Kenneth Kuko on the inside and Bryce Ossier and the 18 on the outside, as Michael Rakes back here keeping an eye on this battle in fifth. Douglas Ivey has moved himself up 7 spots, as has Travis Noble there in 6th and 7th. Tony Brennan, Billy Rickett, Paul Helms for your top 10. It's amazing. I know I mentioned it a couple of times, but it's such a little thing, but it just adds to it. Just seeing the sparks, watching these drivers go around these turns, and the cars just banging the undercarriage off the track. As we're going to see the 17 now, Tanner McAllister bring it down into pit lane, and I wonder if we're at the edge of the pit road or the pit cycle, as the 17 caught speeding coming in to the pit, so he's going to have to sit there for a 40-second hold.
30 laps?
It's possible, Jimmy. It's very possible. That's why I said, we could be looking at a, 2 more stops to get to the end of this thing. 2 more stops should put us, it would put us around a lap, what would that be, lap, I can't math right now. So 25... Yeah, be around lap 60-ish. Yeah, so we'll see if that's what the case is, and maybe Tanner's coming in on the early side of the window, as he's the first one that's hit pit road, and again have to serve that 40-second penalty. I haven't seen anybody else look to dive down in there just yet. So maybe some damage as well to the 17 that we didn't notice. Maybe getting to that outside wall. No meatball for him, but nobody else making that venture into pit lane just yet.
Not yet, and Tanner McAllister now back out of the pits after about 55 seconds or so. So going to join the field, and you can see going down a couple laps. With that extended time here, the lap times are right around 30 seconds, just under. Well, they've been 32 here with the tires warming up. We're on 32s, almost 33s, as fast as 30 seconds. Fastest lap of the race set by, I believe, Michael Rakes with a 30.41, and Beamer with a 30.42. So just net edging them out there. That's the 16 here. For the fastest lap.
Yeah, I think it's a little spicy for a lot of the drivers out here with the temperatures, and just getting a check in. It's showing me at 106. So I'm not sure if it got up higher than that, or if that was the starting temperature here, or if it's kind of going up and down here. But I'm showing 106 right now for the temperature, and it looks like it's going to stay at about 84 degrees for majority of this race, as it's 5:18 sim time right now in the afternoon, and it doesn't start to even cool off a degree until 6 o'clock, and at that point the race very well may be done and dusted. But right now the 55 is leading the way. Mike Casey now sole possession of second, but side by side for third. And now side-by-side for fourth as a 12 drops back here a little bit, and Michael Rakes on the outside. Again, it seems like that outside line is kind of preferred right now, but now Casey dives down to the inside between turns 3 and 4. Gets a heck of a run here. He's going to lead this lap, and maybe looking to try and move that 6 back to the front. Maybe he was kind of holding back there a little bit, maybe saving fuel, maybe saving tires, whatever the case is. The 18 into the wall, scraping up there a little bit, but the 6 back to the point.
Yeah, Mike being able to make a pretty good move there and get around the 55 of Zane Bierman. to take the lead here, but the battle continues up front here. They're jockeying around all real close here. I'm sure pit stops are on the minds here of some of these drivers. A lot of too wide racing going on around the track. Just trying to catch where the action is right now, but everybody given quite a bit of room here tonight. Only a couple close calls here and there, but good green flag racing here tonight with 191 Motorsports at Atlanta.
So it looks like the drivers getting a little bit further into their run. You know, granted, we had the extra caution right around lap number 40 for some of these drivers, so maybe getting a little bit extra to fuel out of these cars, or maybe they're just, you know, straight up getting better fuel mileage than I would expect. But you know, I think again, if they're trying to make it on you know, a 2 more pit stop strategy, you probably want to come in more maybe on the earlier side of it, just so you can get those fresh tires on the car and start making your way back out there. Some drivers like to short pit, some like to try and run that thing out as long as possible, and then come in here. I don't know, Jimmy, what do you think, you know, what do you feel is kind of the better situation that works for you? Do you like coming in there as soon as the window opens to get some fresh tires on that car and try and, you know, gap the drivers that are still out there on the old tires, or would you rather run that thing out, you know, with the possibility of a caution coming out, as that very well may be what we see here as Thomas Osborne crashed and indeed yellow comes out?
Yeah, just back here, a Harley machine going around, but we'll see what happened here with Thomas Osborne on this one. It's just looks like him and Andrew Jones getting together there a little bit. So let me back it up. And we'll play it from there. Just coming off that apron just a little bit. Probably can feel the 65 on the outside. They don't want to go around, but it looks like the rear end getting a little bit loose right there, and then heading it, taking it, driving it down to the grass. So no contact between anybody, just coming down, and then
Tries to keep it off the grass, but I think it's a bad angle in there.
Yeah, and here comes the 00. Oh.
So he's a lot slower than I think the 00 anticipated, and unfortunately, the 00 already using up, I think, both of his faster pairs for the meatballs that he had. May not have another one. I would assume not have another one, I should say, because the drivers only have 2 faster pairs here in the pits. So it's going to be a rough race to go on for Don Ashton here, but gotta probably see the entire field come in here. I don't see why there'd be any reason to stay out here. I mean, maybe if you're trying to get a lap back or something like that, if you're one of the drivers buried down there, certainly the lucky dog will be able to get around and get a lap back. But everyone else coming in to pit lane, it looks like Andrew Jones gonna be the benefactor of the lucky dog. It looks like Tanner McAllister is staying out there as well, maybe trying to get a lap back since he got caught in the pit speeding. But in the pits, Mike Casey leads him. We'll see if he leads him off of pit lane, as it looks like 4 tires going on to majority, if not everybody out there. The 12 gets a good release out of there. Mike Casey is going to lead him back to the line. It looks like the 12 of Kenneth Kuko going to move up to second place. Zane Bierman, Mike Rakes, Bryce Saucier for your top 5. Billy Rickett, Matthew Scruffy Jordan, Paul Helms, and Patrick Ginner, Robbie Miner rounding out your top 10 as it stands. And we'll get a chance to talk to Matthew Scruffy Jordan here one more time, driver of the 23. Scruffy, you guys had a couple cautions since the comp caution. Got to feel, you know, how's that car feeling out there? I see the track temperature still in the triple digits. How much is it burning off those tires here tonight?
I mean, I'm pretty well even right now. I've managed to be able to kind of get something going here. I don't know how the rest of these other guys how their cars are feeling, but mine's, I mean, I feel a lot better on the long runs than I do on the very first little bit on the start. I mean, they're sketchy on cold tires, but it's a lot better on sorry, we're trying to get lined up here. But yeah, it's to me, it's sketchier on cold tires than it is on warm tires.
Yeah, we've seen you drop back through the field there a little bit on that start, so I would explain that, and working our way back up through here is, I'm sure benefited you guys pretty well with the caution coming out at that point, because I'm assuming you're getting towards the end of the fuel run.
Yeah, we were getting pretty close, and everybody's tires were starting to get really burn up. Right rear, right front starting to burn up. Everybody's starting to get tight. But yeah, we got a new set. We're gonna see if we can stay up here this time. I may drop back a little bit if everybody starts getting too aggressive.
All right, buddy. Well, just in case you don't finish on the podium, and just in case there's not more cautions here, want to give you any chance to give a shout out or thanks to anybody out there.
My wife, my mom and dad, everybody. Hi, I got to go green. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, buddy. That is driver of the 23, Matthew Scruffy Jordan, as about time to go back to racing here at Hot Atlanta Echo Park Speedway. Big restart there from the 6 of Mike Casey, as he is your leader out front. Kenneth Kuko maybe caught a little bit sleeping there as the rest of the field, but the 6 launched out of a cannon here on this restart, and we're back to racing here. We're past the halfway point, Jimmy. I think it's about time we crank it up here and give everyone out there a little love to hear it.
A little bit of love to hear it.
Sights and sounds here from the 191 Motorsports Gen 6 Series as we are here at Hot Atlanta Motor Speedway, now known as Echo Park, but this is the old Atlanta that they're at here tonight if you're just joining us. We have 35 laps to go. Kenneth Kuko up in front, Zane Bierman in second, Mike Casey, Hezzy Hardy. First time we're seeing him up in the top 5 here tonight. First time we're also seeing the 91 up in that top 5 here tonight as well. Started in 7th, but missed a start for whatever reason. Started from the pits, a lap down, got it back here pretty quick at the comp caution, but this is the first time we're seeing that 91 up battling inside the top 5. Mike Rakes, Matthew Scruffy Jordan, Bryce Saucier, Travis Noble, and Bryson Anderson are your top 10. But we've kind of seen some of the same players all night at the front. Kuko being one of them. Bierman started back at 16th, but he made that 55 up there pretty quickly. He's been battling. Mike Casey started on the pole. He's been one of the drivers that we've seen up at the front. The 18 of Bryce Saucier had the little issue there under the last caution, but has got the 18 now rolling back up into the top 10. But looks like the 91 and the 16, not sure what happened there. As I looking over, glancing back and forth here, we'll take a look and see what happened here. Looks like Bradley Worley also jumped into the pits. We'll have to take a look at that. Off of turn number 4. Yeah, that's... Yeah, that was heavy impact right there, and yeah, we'll keep this thing lean and green as the 12 leads the way. But you see, I even see on the relative here, not really any kind of gap in between anyone in the top 12. Kind of getting close there as Matthew Scruffy Jordan now falling about a second behind this top 5. Our top 4 for the time being, as we're almost 2 by 2 here at the front, and then 1.5 second gap in between Bryson Anderson and Dale Garner Jr. But other than that, the field pretty still locked in together here in their little groups. See the 18 right here of Bryce Saucier now in 6th position, trying to will that 23 to get up there a little bit, but he's got 7 lap newer tires. No, he doesn't. Just came in there for fuel only on lap number 73, and we'll see if if we get the. It should be at the pit window by now, Jimmy. I mean, we're at lap number 95 right now, so we got 30 laps to go. Based on what they've done early in the race, they're inside the pit window right now to come in and make it to the end. I don't think the drivers that came in on lap number 73 are good to make it to the end. Even 77 for Patrick Kentner here. You're looking at the 43. I don't think 77 to the end is close enough. So that may be. I want to thank everyone out there again for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I want to thank our sponsors, One Division EMS and Transports, Kim's Cups and more, and Beyond the Edge, for everything that they do here as we get close to the final 25 laps of the race here at Echo Park Speedway. And a reminder, next week out we'll have our first night race of the season as we head to Bristol Motor Speedway. Indianapolis will then play host for race number 5. But we do have a week off next week, just to let everyone know in case you're wondering. Kind of a special day, Jimmy. We got Mother's Day coming up here next Sunday, so the driver's taking a week off. exactly. Mother's Day race. But so the week off next week, and then the 17th is when we'll head to Bristol. Indianapolis will round out the month of May. In June, we're looking at Iowa, Kentucky, both night races, and then Auto Club to round out the month of June, as we'll have off on the 21st as well for Father's Day, which is kind of a nice little day as well for us. Also mixed in there, I did forget to mention that we got Bristol coming up in 2 weeks, and then it'll be a week off in between Bristol and Indy as well for Memorial Day weekend. So the month of May a little bit later on the schedule, only 3 races out of the potential 5, but exactly. Well, we're gonna see a pit stop here from the 91 Levi Poland, but unfortunately, Jimmy, a little quick coming in. Don't talk too much. And also Robbie Minor also pitting on lap number 77, just like Gentner, and Thomas Osborne pitting on lap number 76. So we'll see if they have what it takes to get to the end. Billy Rickett is your first one that's come in after this long little green flag run. He pit on lap number 100, as did Tanner McAllister and Andrew Jones, as they're buried a little bit further back in this field right now, with Billy Rickett being in 19th position. And he's got a lot to make up here, but once everybody goes through their pit stops, we'll see where it figures out. But Jimmy, a driver that pit on lap number 77 is in the pits. Robbie Minor brings the number 53 in. Does that tell you anything? Does that let you know that, hey, they're not going to be able to make it to the end? Off the track, back on the track right now. But no caution out here. We'll take a look here at the driver of the 83. Yep, swing and a miss for the 83. He does get it in the pit lane, but he's going to suffer a penalty for that one there. But here's where I think it gets interesting too, Jimmy, is if these drivers can't make it to the end, Does anyone decide to come in a little bit earlier? You know, decide to come in these next couple laps and take tires? Because, I mean, realistically, you don't need tires to make it all the way to the end. A lot of these drivers, I'm sure, will come in and try and just do a short pit, or not a short pit, a fuel-only stop here to try and just get in and get out as quick as possible to get to the end. Certainly, if we have a caution at messes up anybody that's short pits here. Bryce Anderson, I see, crashed. I see Patrick Gittner went on and off the track. I'm not sure if that's going to bring us under a caution or not, as looks like they were down off of the racing surface. So it looks like we are going to stay green here. The 43 kept it down there. So we will stay green here, as looks like the race admin's deciding, nope, we want to keep this thing as green as possible, and worked out there as we'll keep this thing going here. But yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. But I mean, you wonder if it's worth coming in and taking tires for somebody that's maybe a little bit further in the back, or maybe somebody that's behind Mike Casey right now, who is 1.5 seconds ahead of everyone, and trying to run away with this thing. You know, if you can't catch him on the track these side, if you're Zane Bierman or Kenneth Kukel, maybe come in and take 2 tires, you're going to be a little bit longer pit stop, but maybe that's what you need to catch up to the back of the 6 right now. As it stands, Mike Casey leading the way by 1.7 seconds. But do we have pit stops in the future is really what the question is right now. The top 14, last pit on lap number 66 or 73 at best. And by the looks of it, Jimmy, I think the drivers on 73 may already be good to go to the end. But can the drivers on lap 66 make it to the end? It's a pretty big haul, and it's a pretty big ask. I mean, you're asking, we talked about 45 to 55 laps, more than that. You're looking at about 60 laps to make it to the end. So I'm not sure if Casey was saving it all. He's not saving right now. 2.2 seconds in front. Well, it's kind of crazy, the speed difference here. Right now, leaders out there running high 32 seconds, low 33s. Fastest laps of the race are the mid 30s. So, I mean, they're about, 2.5 seconds off pace right now from their fastest speed. Now, is that because the tire drop off, or is that from everyone fuel saving? So it's pretty interesting right now. 2.5 seconds separating Casey from Hardy now in second, and then another 1.2 seconds back to Kuko in third, who's battling with Zane Bierman as we're getting towards the end of this race right now. About 10 laps left here tonight at Atlanta. It's been a pretty good one here. A couple cautions mixed in along the way. Maybe one during the Love to Hear It section of the race. Will we see Mike Casey or Bryce Saucier claim their second win on the season? Will it be a third different winner in 3 races? We're about to find out here in less than 10 laps. Does that mean maybe he can't hear you? Make sure your mic is on.
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks, Barry.
You don't
need me.
Okay.
Nah, didn't need me. you know, I get into that love to hear it, you know, and I click everything and I missed my mic button. But anyways, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, it's trying to finish this thing up here. Michael Casey is out front with Heezy. We talked and hit on the fuel kind of strategy right now as we've been bouncing back and forth. I know you guys have been hearing Carl. But you know, these drivers up here that have been out there since lap 66 are, I think, maybe in danger or very, very, very close to being able to make it. And then you can see Michael Casey still out there, 7 laps to go. Heezy out there again. It's P number 2. Not want to give it up. I'm sure they're watching that fuel mileage and trying to decide what to do, if they can make it or not. Maybe it's just that close. But the likes of the number 18 should have plenty of fuel. And I've seen Douglas Ivy falling back a little bit. So I don't know if it's just his tires or, you know, maybe he wasn't saving at all and now just realized that, hey, I'm going to be low. But anyways, looking good here for some of those drivers. Billy Rickett was in on lap 100 and has made it back on the lead lap. It was one of the fastest cars to the track. It was back up to P number 15. But would need a lot of drivers to kind of come in and pit.
But it's pretty amazing. I mean, you know, Rickett came in on lap number 100, as you mentioned. That is 34 lap newer tires than Mike Casey. And he's got 4 new fresh tires on that number 7. Not running that much faster than Casey right now. Only 0.3 of a second as we got Travis Noble with a meatball. I don't see any kind of incident. As I see smoke on the backstretch, I did see smoke. I didn't see that he towed into pit lane, but now looks like Dale Gardner Jr., Travis Noble, both coming down into pit lane. So I'm not sure if that was both because of the incident. Certainly Noble has to come in to serve that meatball flag, but for the time being, Mike Casey's still out there in the lead, 3 seconds in front, and we're down to the final 4 laps of this race. Maybe we were all way off on the amount of fuel they have in here. For all we know, they have 75 laps of fuel. We don't know. But you know, my educated guess, I thought they had a lot less fuel than they did here for this race. But they're proving me wrong for sure, and they're able to go a pretty good distance here.
Right front could get you a meatball.
Yep, that would do it. That would do it for sure. I don't see. Unless I'm missing something here. No, yeah, I think they do have a full tank. But either way, we're getting down towards the end of it here. Mike Casey across the line here one more time is going to be getting the 3 to go here. Yeah, actually, the 2 to go as he comes out of turn number 4 onto the front stretch. 2 more laps to go. 3.5 second lead over the 30 of Hardy. Kuko in 3rd place right now. Zane Bierman in 4th. Bryce Saucier for your top 5. Then Matthew Scruffy Jordan, Douglas Ivy, Michael Rakes, Paul Helms, and Richard Hartman, the 3rd for your top 10. And it's looking more and more likely that these drivers may be able to make it to the end. We'll see if any start running out here on these final couple laps. But the fact that Casey started gapping everyone makes me think that he got to his number and said, you know what, I'm good to go now to the end, so I'm going to hammer down, and that's exactly what he's been doing. The white flag in the air here for the 6. Casey looking to get his 2nd win on the season before the break here in May, and really stretch this thing out as he's got now a 4.3 second lead, half a second faster than Hardy that last lap. Through turns 3 and 4, he is going to come out as your winner here tonight. Pack just enough fuel in there one way or another. Mike Casey, your winner here at Echo Park Speedway. Hardy going to come home in 2nd. 3rd place going to go to Kuko. Bierman and Saucier going to round out your top 5. Jordan, Ivy, Rakes, Helms, and Hartman for your top 10, as had a heck of a good green flag run there to finish this thing off. And maybe, you know, those little bit of caution laps that we had, you know, around lap 73, 77 were enough to get these drivers to the end. But man, that's a long run here. I mean, 60 laps on fuel.
Yeah, it's a long one. I wasn't aware that they had so much fuel. So I guess it's something even enough to kind of celebrate a little bit. So definitely plenty of fuel here, and maybe he'll run it out here as he burns down here for the evening. But 6 getting the win over the field here tonight. A great run by 191 Motorsports. A few cautions to stir things up just a little bit. But that's racing, and that's what we like to see. Good racing, good long green flag runs, and see even the 23 celebrate being able to finish this thing. Great move. But your biggest move of the race, though, is your second place finish. The number 30 of Easy Hardy, getting things done here for that team. So anyways, we'll go ahead and show the rundown of your finishers tonight for the race. So Michael Casey will be your winner again tonight here for 191 at Atlanta. Then Heezy for P number 2. Then Kenneth Kuko, Zane Bierman, Bryce Saucier, Matthew Jordan, Douglas Ivey, Michael Rakes, Paul Helms, Richard Hartman for your top 10. Then Billy Rickett made it all the way back up to 11th. Scott Henderson, Robbie Miner, Tony Brennan, Tanner McAllister, Andrew Jones, Bryson Anderson, Dale Garner Jr. And to round out the top 20 is going to be Travis Noble and Ken Yule. And the rest of the field is going to be Wade Inyart, Patrick Gentner, Steve Harris, Thomas Osborne, Don Ashton, Bradley Worley, Levi Poland, and Chris Perry for your 28 car field here at 191.
Once again, I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that we have to offer. I want to thank our sponsors of Beyond the Edge, Kim's Cups and More, and One Vision EMS and Transport for everything that they do. It looks like we got 2 of our 3 drivers. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to Mr. Hardy in the number 30 before the night is done. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and bring in your third place finisher, Jimmy. It's going to be the number 12 of Kenneth Kuko.
Hey, Ken,
hey, how's it going?
Hey, read you loud and clear. Great night here tonight for the number 12, able to run up front for the good portion of the night. Even gained a few spots, a good qualifying effort as well. Just wanted to say congratulations first off, and then get your side of the story and how everything was out here at Atlanta.
Yeah, thanks, man. I was looking forward to this race. I mean, these old Atlanta, like, it's, some people have a different opinion, but it's a shame what they did to the track. But I love this place, and Gen 6 is one of my favorite cars. I don't know. I mean, that last run, I think we ran 58 laps, and I don't know. I felt like I was pushing it too hard out on front, but I wanted to keep the track position, and that just kind of hurt the right front a little bit. Fell back down to 4th and clawed my way back up to 3rd, but I was pretty happy with how my race went.
Yeah, you guys were last in on lap 66, so you guys were out there for a good long while. What was the fuel range on the cars here tonight?
I was showing like 63 to 62. So which was quite a bit. I didn't think we'd ever make it that far on tires, and I was contemplating breaking that last run up into 2 equal parts. But usually that tends to bite me. So I just kind of went with the long run. I got at 10 to go. I got the crew chief coming over saying we're about to run out of rubber. So that was the most stressful and longest 10 laps I think I've done in quite a while.
Yeah, it's always a shell shocker. And the crew chief says, hey, your tires are junk.
Exactly. And then you got to
waiting for that beep ball to show up. And I think that's what happened to one of the drivers. He came in kind of unannounced, and we're kind of wondering why he had the meatball, but more than likely that's what it was. But you did a great job, man. Basically conserving your car and tires here tonight, and a great decision to stay out here to get yourself a great finish here tonight at Atlanta. So again, we just wanted to say congratulations and recognize your great finish here from us and the fans out there watching, and a bunch of people watching. So I also want to give you some time for any shouts before we let you get out of here.
Yeah, I got to thank Jacob Wilson, everyone over at Revved Up Racing. We got Victory Fuel. We got the No Names. We got Corn Dog Designs, T-Parm Transportation, and Floors by Dennis. All those guys help us out a lot, and we'll see what we can do next week.
Well, definitely looking forward to seeing you next time you guys are out on track, and to see if you can get that 12 back up here on the podium and maybe even the top spot. But again, we just want to say congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
Yeah, thank you. Take care, man.
Is your third place finisher here tonight, the 12 of Kenneth Kuko. Second place here tonight is going to go to the 30 of Hezzy Hardy. And I mean, you had a good enough car to be up there at the end. I guess we need to start with the qualifying or lack thereof. Did you decide not to make a qualifying effort? Did you decide to just start from the back, or did you make a mistake during qualifying to start so far back there?
No, I decided to start from the back just to get a little bit more feel for the track and combination and everything. So I knew after last week it probably would have been a lot smarter to qualify to try to get in front of all the craziness. But again, I decided to stick towards the back again.
So all in all, I mean, you guys out there had 4 cautions, 5 if you include the comp caution there. So not terrible for 125 laps. It certainly worked out nicely. One of the first ones there probably kind of put you in a nice little window. But we didn't expect up here to see you guys kind of already be in the window at lap number 66. But it sounds like you guys had a little over 60 laps of fuel in the car. So was there any kind of saving on that last run, or were you guys good to go right from the rip?
Fuel-wise, we were good. I think there at the end, I probably had 4, 5, or 6 laps of fuel left. As far as tires go, there was a whole lot of lifting because I didn't think we would go the long haul, but I decided to save, where I could in case it did happen. So, and as fate would have it, it did happen.
Yeah, it's. I think we did have one person actually get a meatball from blowing a right front here, and it can happen here at the old Atlanta. Not so much on the new Echo Park Speedway with it being a super speedway with the fresh pancake or the fresh pavement down there. Tires aren't as big of a deal, still a deal, but not like the old Atlanta here, and especially with the temperatures out here tonight, you guys were dealing with triple digits.
It was definitely hot. We're there at the end. I think whenever I came in, I had about, 50% or so left on the tires. So it was definitely eating them up, chewing them up pretty good. But overall, it was a lot of fun trying to balance the right front wear versus the right rear wear.
So anything different you think you could have done to maybe try and take it to the 6 there, Mike Casey? Is you just burn it up a little bit too early, or are you just overall happy with the second place here tonight?
I needed to get around the 12 and the 55 a lot quicker than I did in order to have anything for him. Mike was quick from the get-go, and he's been quick pretty much every race we've had so far. So I was looking forward to try to get up and dice with him a little bit, but had a little bit longer battle with the 12 and the 55 than I would have liked. I needed to get out in front of him pretty quick in order to have anything for him, but it took me probably 15, 20 laps to get around him. By that time, I didn't have anything for him, especially with the lead he'd got from all the clean air.
Well, either way, a second place, nothing to scoff at after 125 laps here at the old Echo Park Speedway. So congrats on the second place here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
I'll give a shout out to those guys we were running with. That battle there at the end was definitely a blast. Shout out to Mike. He was quick from the get go. He was definitely out there. I was trying to, like I said, do my best to get up there. So definitely shout out to him. Shout out all the guys back at the Rankins Race Engine headquarters for putting a pretty quick engine in this car this week. Definitely good turnaround from the last couple of weeks. So shout out to you guys for putting on something like this. We appreciate it.
All right, well, we appreciate the good racing out there by you guys. So congrats again on the second place. We'll see you in a couple weeks as we head to Bristol Motor Speedway.
Sounds good, gentlemen.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, the number 30 of Hezzy Hardy. Last but not least, we're going to talk to him once this season, but we got to talk to him again as he's a second-time winner now on the season, the 6 of Mike Casey.
Mike, Jimmy, Carl up the booth. Welcome back. Another win here for 191 Motorsports. All started off with a little concern. Hey, Jimmy, Carl, are you guys okay? You don't have to ever worry about us. We'll be there. You give you plenty of heads up if we're not going to show.
He was calling his shot. He wanted to make sure you were here.
Don't worry, you guys. Don't be dramatic. I didn't know if I was going to get the microphone out tonight or what.
I mean, if I have to like call you and be like, "Hey, Mike, you got to broadcast your own thing," whatever it might be. But maybe your league would be would say, yeah, do that, get them up in the booth. But the 6 gets the victory here tonight. So we want to say congratulations. You got a great qualifying run here, of course. But give us a little run down of your race here tonight and how everything out there was for you.
Yeah, I tell you what, all the drivers tonight at 191 did a hell of a job. We needed this kind of bounce back race after the first 2 races we had. So it was really nice to see that we were capable of getting everybody spread out, doing some tire managing, and everybody was given, taken out on the track. I mean, it wasn't perfect by no means, but everybody did a great job. So that was great to see. It was great to see some long green flag runs and kind of having everybody kind of have to, deal with the tires because, Hot Atlanta, it's called Hot Atlanta for a reason. And I mean, it just absolutely destroys the tire. So it was good to see what everybody had on the long run speed. This is the first chance we've gotten to see that this season just because of, Michigan and Daytona were kind of wild. So I just want to give a big shout out to all the drivers tonight. I mean, it was just great to see. So I'm super happy for that and just absolutely just pumped. So
yeah, it's good to see all the drivers be able to perform the way that you would like them to, especially as being one of the league owner. So out there, everybody that was able to compete, like you said, there was a few mistakes, but I mean that happens in real life as well. So I don't think you guys could ask for too much of a better race except green from start to finish, and even those are hard to come by. But you walk away as the winner here tonight, and you kind of show them, the 6 still needs to be chased. So just wanted to say congratulations on your win here at Atlanta and give you some time for any shout outs, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And like I said, just want to give all the drivers a shout out again, because it means a lot to have a clean race and have everybody get the elbows up, but do it the right way and not just absolutely kill everybody. So, but yeah, I want to give a shout out to you all in the booth. Glad y'all ended up making it. I had all the faith in the world. I was getting messages and I was like, hey, they're gonna be here. I know you guys.
Our race attendance is 99.9% out of the past 5 years. So we're good. I promise.
Oh, I got you.
I don't need provisionals or drop races.
Yeah.
Well, hey, like I said, we appreciate you guys. Like I said, Core Racing Network does a great job. So if you all are not already subbed and following what they're doing, like I said, not only here at 191, but they've got racing all during the week. So they obviously do a hell of a job, and we appreciate you guys. Everybody out there in YouTube watching tonight, I'm sure Barry, Renee, I don't know who else was out there. I was so focused on what I was doing, I really didn't have the chat pulled up. I was sweating bullets there. I only took over the wall, I only used 2 sets of tires tonight. So about 20 to go. I was getting all kinds of tire warnings and everything. So I was like, oh man, this thing's going to blow and I'm going to get a meatball. But anyways, the tires held off tonight. So that's great. But shout out to One Vision EMS and Transport, Kim's Cups and More on Facebook, Beyond the Edge. They're a new sponsor for us and we appreciate them. All the admin guys for putting up all the practice stuff this week and being a part of that. Hezzy and Kenny on their podiums tonight. They did a great job. It was good to have Levi back on the track. I don't know if y'all caught that, but Levi showed back up tonight, so that was cool having him come back. And like I said, everybody did a good job, and we definitely are on the momentum train back to back. And this league is not easy to do, so I'm gonna take it, keep the eyes forward, and just keep seeing what we can get out of this. I think we got a break next weekend, and then we'll be back at Kansas. So. Schedule change too. We're not going to Bristol. We will be at Kansas on race number 4. So
you heard it, folks. We're going to take a break and go to Kansas. And maybe they can avoid the tornadoes and not end up in Oz. We would again. Thanks for the shout outs, Mike, and appreciate it as always. Again, congratulations on your victory here tonight at Atlanta. We'll see you in 2 weeks at Kansas, and we'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
That is your winner here tonight for the second time this season, the 6 of Mike Casey, as he got it done here and really started pulling away late and gets this thing done with a 4.5-second win for a second win of the season. As you heard it there, it's not going to be Bristol in 2 weeks. It is going to be Kansas. I would assume probably a night race there as well. Try and cool it off for these drivers, and hopefully they're cooled off and after the 2 weeks here with the week off for Mother's Day. So wishing early happy Mother's Day to all the families out there, as we won't see you next week on Sunday, but we got plenty of racing in the meantime the rest of the week. We got the Hold Your Brakes Academy tomorrow night. On Tuesday we got the Core O'Reilly Series, we got CSRL on Wednesday, and then doubleheader of VVR and Core GT on Thursday. But for myself and Jimmy from here, the old Atlanta Motor Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Green flag drops on a Sunday night, engine screaming, fists uptight, discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap 1, chaos, 3 wide deep, somebody blinks, somebody weeps, rear view mirror full of smoke, cut me off, I won't lift, that'll do it, there he goes again. You dive in low, I hold my line, chrome to chrome at the finish line. One down, one is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside, get you some, hold it wide, get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride, kick me out, that'll do it, back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning, league race live, and we're still 3 wide. You wanna see my dog? Yeah, that eagle on my grill is boss. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job sent from out